Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Each One His Own TV with finally a bit of a thriller, a bit of entertainment. And we finished today 2-2 to Bournemouth. I will be hosting a little bit today. I got Fever to my right, who is in God knows where, trying to uphold the reception on his phone. Fever, how are you? What do you make of that?
Uh, 4-3-3, mate. What have I been saying? I've been telling you, 4-3-3 works, and we look a lot better in a 4-3-3.
You've also said before that if we score first, I fancy our chances.
Yeah, well, you know what? We went behind, and do you know what? I thought we was going to turn it around today. I really did, but obviously it wasn't meant to be. But I'm going to be honest, it was better. It was better in attack. We looked better. We looked fluid. We looked like when we was going
Second
forward, we
half.
looked like second half. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Second half, obviously, we'll talk about first half, second half. But it was better, and that's a start. Do you know what I mean? It had to be better for me.
I,
What did you make of the first half?
First off, just my quick little overall. I thought today was just very weird once again. I really don't I'll be honest. I'm coming out I came out of that with more questions than answers if I'm being honest, but I agree it was a bit more positive today. But first half, oof, first half was grueling again to be honest with you, and I think in my opinion, what I think it lacked was just service overall. Like Bowen up top. Again, Bowen is just one of those guys where like he's got the quality of a striker. Like you give him the service, he's going to finish. I.e., today, you give him the chances, he's going to put them away. But he's never a focal point. It's just not really what he's good at. So first half, just seeing Bowen run around trying his hardest, getting no service from the midfield, the fullbacks, wingers, everywhere. It was just grueling again first half. And then yeah, what did you think of the first half?
Awful, mate. Awful. Like, and we just couldn't do anything. Yeah, but then we haven't got a vocal point up front. You're going Bowen up front. You're
Hmm.
going Paqueta on the left, I think it was, and Mo on the right, and it was just a bit all over the gaff. Yeah, yet again, when we've got a centre forward, like a proper centre forward, someone who actually does it for a living, we're not bad. We're not bad. Ariola's mistake for the goal. I want to talk
Yeah,
about that
that's
quickly.
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. Like it's straight at him, ricochets out, and it goes in. I thought the first half was bad. I don't think they was amazing, but obviously we weren't great. But Ariola, mate, if we're going into a new season, I think a goalkeeper is definitely on the agenda. It has to be. I don't think we can have
Yeah, and
any
and
choice.
it's sad because again, everyone has their own like footballing opinions and all that. I One of my strong passionate football opinions is that I just hate spending big money on a goalkeeper. Even though we're definitely going to need a new one, I still don't want to do that, but I think it's a bit justified now. I'm a big fan of Areola. I really have enjoyed his time here at the club, but this season, I mean, you could even argue last season as well. Again, it's all opinions, but he is fallen off quite a bit. And that goal, that first goal we conceded, was absolutely inexcusable.
I'm going to be honest, yeah, it really was. It really was. But we got to half time. One thing I was surprised about, there was booze. There was booze in the ground, and people wasn't happy at half time in regard to that, which I make them
Rightfully
right because
so. Yeah.
yeah, because it wasn't good. He changes it sort of midway through that second half, takes off Alvarez, takes off Suchek, and then we kick into gear. What did you make of Nicholas Fulkrug, mate? Because I thought he
For
was excellent in the second half.
for me, again, I know you're very passionate on the formation and the 4-3-3 and all that, but I think for me it was the personnel really. I think getting Fulkrug up top, who again he hasn't had a lot of time to prove himself because he's been injured, this, that, and the third, and all that, right? But he's a focal point. He's someone that you can lob the ball towards, you can spray it towards him. He's gonna come down with it. He's gonna knock it on. You know what I mean? So for me, that was the most important part of the second half is that we had a focal point up top, and you put Bowen back in his best position. No matter what anyone says, like as much as I love Kudus as well, like Bowen has to play on the right. He just has to. He's the most dangerous there. And
I actually said that on the preview last night. What I'd done, I turned around and said that Bowen's not a two-man strike force. He's one of the best inside forwards in the Premier League, and that's where we need to put him on the right so he can run at people and do the damage from the right, basically. Do you know what I'm saying? And like as I say, I thought Falkirk's goal was excellent,
Oh,
like great
very
header.
good. And
Yeah,
again, because we will talk about the formation and all that, but like today was just a weird match in terms of that debate because really the goals we conceded and the one goal we scored from set pieces, one was from a howler, obviously for Bournemouth. But like, I don't know. Again, I don't think any of us are convinced yet, but it's a bit more positive. But again, for me, I just come out of this with a lot more questions and answers because we've all been saying that our best midfield three is either Paqueta, Alvarez, and Suchek, but they get yanked off at halftime. In the second half, we see Soler, Ward-Prowse, and Paqueta, and
it's
we
the
look.
system, mate. No one will believe me, but I'm telling you, the system's better. When it's a 4-3-3, you've got a vocal point in Fulkrug up front. You've
That's
got Bowen.
that's the thing for me. Like I
Yeah,
believe, in my opinion, if we played with Fulkrug up top
right.
at the start, we would have looked probably way better the whole entire match. But that's just my opinion.
I completely agree. I completely agree. And when people say about the five at the back or the 3-4-3 or the 3-4-1-2 or whatever it is, I've always said West Ham in a 4-3-3 is, can be very good, right? You've got to get Bowen in his best position, and we all know that as supporters of this club, that's on the right. We need a centre forward who can hold the ball up and be a menace in centre forward. Falker have done that today, especially in the second half. Mo, I thought Mo played all right today. I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was amazing, but I thought he done all right. But when you've got creators like Paqueta and Soler trying to play passes through, and Lewis Guilherme coming on, I'm going to be honest, for the little cameo that he had, I thought he really he done okay. Like, do you know what I'm saying? He should have
Yeah,
fed the ball across in a key moment, but other than that, that's the only mistake he really made. So, you know, um, I need to see. This is what I was saying the other day, and my words were, I need to see something different. I see something different today. I see him go 4-3-3. I think with a bit of tweaking in certain positions and sorting out of getting someone who's a dynamic box to box powerhouse midfielder, I think West Ham in a 4-3-3 is better than West Ham in any 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. Do you know what I mean? I really do mean that. Do you know what I'm saying? And we nearly done it today. We nearly span it around, and that would have been the first time this season that we've gone behind, we've come back and won. And I'm just a bit gutted that we didn't see it out to the end. But I want to talk about that goal, Lucas, their second goal. The,
hmm
the defending on that was absolutely shit.
yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I really, there's really no elaboration on it. And real quick to address the chat, no link from me because I've got to make a move in about 15, 20 minutes. And if we get people in chat, it's going to be lots of long discussion and all that. If Fever stays around, he can. But as I'm host today, I am on limited time. So I'm sorry, people. But there's really no elaboration for me on the second goal. It's just poor. I mean, Kilman was already played, most of them on side as well. And then in the end, Emerson kept Evan Nilsson on for the knock on. But it's just poor. It's poor defending, schoolboy.
Yeah. Just to sort of go on to that, I'll do a show tomorrow and have your say tomorrow night. Anyone wants to come on, they can come on and have their say tomorrow night. And I'll do that. To round it up, yeah, it's a point gained. We've seen something new. I needed to see something against Wolves. I have. I've seen a bit more positivity. I think Nicholas Fulkrug is a man that we might need to keep just to see how he
He,
gets on.
he at least needs to get a start next
Yeah,
match. Again, that's the thing with me. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy about today. It was a bit more positive, but there's so many more questions for me because, like, again, we all know Potter really doesn't play a 4-3-3. So when I'm thinking about that, like, is he experimenting with that for the future, or is he just playing that because the players feel a bit more comfortable in that? You know what I mean?
I
And
know what you're saying there.
it's hard to gauge whether that's something authentic to think about going forward or not. And some people say 4-2-3-1, 4-3. It doesn't really matter. I think looking at the lineup today, I was a little bit concerned because when I initially saw it, I thought 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, and then the last time we played that, we got absolutely dumped by Brentford, and Bournemouth are better than Brentford. So I wouldn't say I was negative, but I was worried a little bit.
I think to round it up, I think we needed to see him change his ways to a point. And for me, 4-3-3 suits West Ham, right? You've got to get Bowen in his best position. You have to, right? Because Bowen as a two-man strike force isn't going to work. He's not a wing back. He's one that, as I say, he's one of the best inside forwards in the Premier League. So we need to put him in that position. Now, the only way you can put him in that position is playing a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. I don't think personally that we are good enough to do a 4-2-3-1. We used to be able to do it because we had Declan Rice. We ain't got Declan Rice no more. But in a 4-3-3, I'd always fancy us. I really would. And, you know, it's gutting today, but it's a start. And that's what I'm happy about.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's weird today because Dill says here, you guys were praying for Alvarez and Souček against Wolves, and we took them off today, and we scored 2 goals and looked better. I don't get it. Well, we also conceded twice. We drew today. I mean, anyone can make any point they want, really. Like, oh, we scored 2 goals today, but we also conceded. So whether you're a defensive-minded football viewer or
I've been screaming
for advancement, like
I've been screaming for 4-3-3 for ages. Del.
Yeah, no, but the point is, it's like people want goals, but you gotta defend at the end of the day. People want to defend, but you gotta score goals at the end of the day. We ended in a draw, so like both sides are just gonna have to meet in the middle and just say today. Obviously, we drew. We did look a lot better to the eye, but still a lot to think about and improve on going forward. Who's your man of the match today?
I thought Bowen come into his own in the second half, and there's a few chances where he should have put them away. I thought Wan-Bissaka had a good game, but he was running out of steam at the end. He played a silly pass.
Man of the match to me would be a bit kind, if I'm being honest. I think no one. I feel like maybe I'm being a bit harsh that no one stood out. But when I think of like someone standing out, they had a brilliant game. Not like a cameo. But man of the match. I think he would have to go between Fulkrug or Bowen, But I feel like Bowen played the whole match. He suffered, and then he came out with the light at the end and scoring a goal. So I'd probably give it to Bowen, but I think Fulkrug deserves a shout, and he definitely deserves to start next match and maybe even beyond, because as much as some people wanted Evan Ferguson, and I'll be there to say, I mean, I was excited. I don't know what would be the word to bring in Evan Ferguson, but I was hopeful for sure. And he just so far has not proved to be that focal point we're looking for, that Fulkrug seems to have nailed down to a T. I mean, that's what we bought him for 27 great million British pounds. So,
for me, I thought Fulkrug made an impact, which was good. Like, we needed someone to come off the bench and make an impact. He did. I thought Bowen was decent. I thought the back line was
not good today, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was okay in moments, but like that second goal is absolutely criminal.
I don't know what word to use, but I'm worried with Todibo. Why can this man not play 90 minutes? He's incapable of playing 90 minutes.
My biggest fear with Todibo, and I've been saying it for ages, is I think he's good on the ground, but he's poor in the air.
Kilman as well, not great in the air either.
Yeah, and the thing is, we've got no one in the air in our defence who owns it, if that makes sense, who goes in there and goes, right, I'm going to put my head on it.
Mavropanos is probably our best and most reliable aerial threat, and I'll give Mavropanos credit. He's not terrible in the air. He's just not as guided or disciplined, I'd say, but he's decent in the air. But that is one thing we are definitely going to have to look for in the summer, 100%. In my opinion, because Kilman, what was it, the first 5 minutes? It was Atoro Dango. He was running down the flank. He puts in a beautiful ball for Evan Nilsson, and Kilman he jumps for it, but he barely gets off the ground.
Yeah, I know. And that's the only thing I've always said. I think technically both of them are good footballers with the ball, playing it out the back. In the air, if balls are coming in, they can't defend it. Do you know what I'm saying? To round this video up, Lucas, what do you make of Potter today?
Um, I don't. Again, I don't know. I personally like that he's taken the time the rest of the season to experiment and just try different things. But again, I don't know how authentic some of these experiments are going to be because I really don't know like what he wants going forward. Because it still, if you ask me, no matter what, Graham Potter, it's in his DNA. He wants to play a 3-4-2-1. That's just the way he plays football. But the fact that we played that 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it today. First half, obviously, absolutely dreadful, but second half looked a lot better with different players at different points in the formation. Again, it just leaves me with a lot more questions than answers. The only answer I know that has been answered, or the only question I know that's been answered for me, Fulkrug has to start next match at least, and hopefully going forward and he doesn't get injured because I really do want to see Fulkrug succeed at this club. Like for me, it was always the price tag that was just mind-boggling to me, but I don't question the player at all. So
Yeah. For me, I'm pleased that he's changed it. That's the first thing. That's a start, right? That tells me he's not a stubborn bastard, right? Which I was getting a bit worried about. I was thinking, is he becoming a bit stubborn? I think the voices were heard at half time, and rightfully so. When people are booing in the ground, I reckon he got into the players at half time and said, right, you're going to have to sort this out because this is not right. I liked the second half. I liked it up to where we went 2-1 up. I didn't like the defending for their goal. I think that was shambolic, really. But overall, against a decent Bournemouth side, let's have it right. I think it was about right. It was a fair result. But I think he's got to experiment more with his 4-3-3. I just don't. I look at West Ham in a three at the back, and it just doesn't feel right to me. In a 4-3-3, we've got to get Bowen right on the right where he belongs. That's where he belongs. That's where he's done most of his career, and that's where he's best for us. And that's where he's got to play. And you can't experiment with the geezer because we know how good he is at the end of the day.
it's just like, and I get what you're saying, AD. Lucas, that's not true at all. He's changed his formation several times at Brighton. What makes you think he plays only one formation? I don't think he only plays one formation, but I think he has a main idea is what I'm saying. Like he is adaptive and he does change, but like if you ask every manager what they want to play, they're gonna have that, like in my opinion, of course, they're gonna have that one go-to formation, tactic, philosophy. But again, I don't make you wrong, but I'm just trying to clarify what I'm saying. What was your question? Did you have a question for me?
No, I didn't, mate. I didn't. Well, we'll leave it at that, Lucas. But we've said our bit, and all we can do is move on now from this. Any final words, son?
No, thank you to everyone for joining us on the Afterthought. I'm sorry that we're not able to drop a link and get you guys in here. We're all busy folk today, but like Fever said, there will be have your say tomorrow or whenever we're next free. And really, I mean, overall today was a positive. Again, Bournemouth have been in absolutely terrible form, but at the end of the day, they are a good side. They've been doing well this season. So a point at home. Defense was a bit shambolic. Goalkeeping was terrible, but we saw some goals. Good day out as well. Weather looked fantastic in Stratford today, so at least we're not going home with an L.
Yeah, I agree. My final thought is this: it's a point gained, but it's a positive start in regards of like an attacking threat. I need to see West Ham more attacking. I need to see West Ham on the front foot and looking to beat these teams. Yeah, it wasn't our day today to beat these teams because our defence let us down and our goalkeeper let us down. For me, moving forward, I want to see more of this 4-3-3, and I want to see Potter build on a 4-3-3 rather than a 3-4-3. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, people keep saying it's a dead season, but that is a sign today that we can score goals, we can make goals in a 4-3-3 with some of these players. So,
but
that's
can
a
we
start.
defend in the 4-3-3 is the question.
That is the question indeed, but we'll leave that for another time, mate. Lucas, wrap this up, son.
Yep. Again, thank you everyone for joining us. Again, sorry for not being able to drop the link, but please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and if you'd like to become a member, the link is in the bar below. Are the horses on today, or have they been on today?
Yes, I did have Iron Maximus. It did come second. I am not happy about it, but I won 57 quid. So, I
You
would
know
have
what?
won.
I won my bet today as well. I had West Ham winner draw over 1.5 goals and Palace Brighton over 1.5. So a nice little evens ACA just for the fuck of it.
Well done, mate. Well done indeed.
Not too impressive, but thank you guys again for joining us. Have your say either tomorrow, Monday, sometime starting next week. But until now, have a great rest of your week and hope everyone wins lots of money from the horses. And thankfully, West Ham did not ruin our weekend.